Hey everyone, this is David Gerard with Junk Spirit Games, and this is our game setup and how to play video for Battle of the Bards. So after having opened up everything from the box, game setup is very simple. This is a deck builder game, so you're going to need to put the cards out that everybody will be battling over, and you start by putting the audience cards out. You're going to put 3 audiences out, and then you're going to put the deck down, and you're going to take the top card off the deck, and you're going to put that one face up. Then after you set those up, you're going to need to take all the veteran bards, and you'll obviously shuffle them all, and you'll put them into what we call the veterans row, veteran bard line. And after you put those down, you'll take the aid for the veteran bard line, and you'll put that down, making sure that the newest bard in town is clearly marked here as the one that's right next to the deck, and the rest of the veteran bards. Then every player is going to need to have the same starting hand, and you'll see that they're going to have 2 blue, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 2 red basic bards, and you also have a roadie and then 2 wanted posters. Additionally, each player then will get 1 lead card. So let me just randomly take the lead illusionist. And the lead that you get will give you a starting bonus of 2 dice of their color plus 1 performance. So in this case, I'd be taking 2 blue and 1 blue performance, 2 blue dice. And then you're going to take those cards and you're going to shuffle those. And that's going to be the cards that the player is going to start with. Just like in every other deck builder, you're going to start with those 12 cards. Additionally, each player is going to then take one of the ENCORE cards randomly, and they will keep that secret from other players and keep that next to their deck. Then the last player that has seen a stage performance will take the first player token, and they will be the first player in the first round. And that is how you set up a game of Battle of the Bards. A game of Battle of the Bards is played in multiple rounds, and each round is broken up into 3 different phases. The first phase is where your characters, your bards, they take the stage. You're always going to have 5 cards in your hand, and if this is the first round, I will draw the 5 cards off the top of my deck, and then you're going to choose 3 of your bards, and you're going to put them into play on stage. The other 2 stay backstage for you. Then each bard shows you in the top left corner the colored dice you're going to get. So this musician is going to give me a yellow, the lead illusionist is going to give me a blue dice, and then of course the dancer is going to give me a purple die. Then you're going to roll all of the dice together, and these are the dice you're going to be using this round. Now, this stage, the taking the stage step phase, is all done simultaneously, so every player will do what I just did at the same time. Then we move on to putting on a show. That's where the person, starting with the person that has the first player token, that person will take two actions, just 2 actions, and then the person to their left will take 2 actions, and then the next person will take 2 actions until it comes back around to the original person, and then everybody will continue to take 2 actions back to back until everybody passes completely. In this step, basically, of those 2 actions, there's multiple different things that you can do. First of all, you can take on you can create a performance. That's where if you have 3 dice that show a sequence like this, where you see the 1, 2, 3 right there, you can turn those in, you'll discard those, and then you will create a performance. Now, this one shows 2 blue dice, so I'd have to take a blue performance. But if I were to create the sequence with this, like 2, 3, 4, with all different colors, I could then take a yellow or a red or a blue, my choice. So I could discard these and take a red performance, for example. Then also, as one of your actions, you can use a bard's ability. That's where you use the ability row that shows on the bottom of each one of the bards. So this one shows a 3 and higher. So you'd have to assign a die that is 3 or higher to this character, and then very simply, you're going to then gain a purple die, and you can roll that immediately into your set. And you can do that for each one of your characters. That would be one of my actions, and then on a future turn or on a future action, I could play this basic musician's ability, and you see that shows a 4 and below, and then would give you a yellow die. So I can put this 1 here, and then I get a yellow die, and then very simply roll it into my pool. Now, the lead illusionist, she shows that she specifically needs a 4. The white colored die means it's any color that is required, but she does need a 4 to do it. And then you'll use her ability as well. And in this case, I gain a die of any color. I could gain another a blue, for example. And then she has the scout ability, which lets you look at the top card of your deck, and then you can fire that bard immediately from your deck. That's the equivalent of the lead saying, I don't want this guy in my band. All right. Another ability that you can, another action that you can take, you can also spend your wanted poster in your hand to hire a veteran bard. This is where you're going to look at the veteran bard line. To do this, you need to have a wanted poster in your hand and then any other card in your hand. So you do have to have 2 cards. You have a wanted poster and then anything else. You'll discard those 2 cards into your discard pile, and then you'll take 2 dice that show the same number, and you'll discard those as well. You can discard any 2 as long as they show the same number. So I can do the 1s, the 5s, or the 2s here, and it does not matter the color. And then you're going to grab one of the veteran bards. Let's say I want this guy, and then you're going to put that into your discard pile. And then once you shuffle your deck, just like other deck builders, that will come back around. If you want the newest bard in town, which is the one right next to the deck, you'll have to spend another die of the same number. So if I had this 5 here, I could discard the 3 5s, and then I could grab Quill Podblaze right here. And then, of course, as you grab new veteran bards, these will come down as like a conveyor belt system. Conveyor belt system where they all kind of scooch down as they go. So if this was, let me back up a little bit here. So if I had bought this one as I originally had said, then they would all scooch down like this, and then the newest bard in town would be the one that just comes out of the deck. All right, that's veteran bards. Then another action that you can take is to capture an audience. That's where when you grab enough performance tokens, you've created enough performances tokens as the game has progressed, you can then, as long as you match up what a audience card needs, like for example this one, you'll see it needs 2 blues and a red. You then discard these 3 performances, and then you can grab the audience card. The audience card gives you victory points right there, and then also gives you a permanent ability that you can use for the rest of the game. And once someone buys their 4th audience, then that will signify the end of the game, and I'll get to that at the end of this video. That's how capture an audience works. And then you can also discard a card from your hand to capture an audience that's on top of the deck. So these 3 audience cards that are out, they're not on top of the deck. The one that's on top of the deck, if you want to have access to it, you would have to discard a card to do that. Now, of course, just like the veteran bard stack, when you buy a card, they all scooch down. When you capture an audience, the audience card scooch down too, and a new card comes on top of the deck like that. All right, additional action you can do in this phase. You can also discard a tune token or a card from your hand to tune your dice. Now, a card from your hand is obviously a card from your hand. Tune token looks like this. This is the little tune token guitar pick that we have. You get them from roadies and some other veteran abilities. If you have a tune token, you can discard this, or you can discard a card from your hand to tune your dice. And tune your dice looks like this. Let's say I have these dice here, and let's say I want, oh, sorry, I should just get to it. The tune token, what it lets you do is it lets you nudge one of your dice up or down. So I could turn this 2 into a 3 or a 1, or I could turn that 1 into a 2. You can't flip it around, so you can't turn a 1 into a 6 and vice versa. But you can nudge one of your dice up or down 1, or you can reroll any or all of your dice. That's your choice. So if I wanted to flip this to a 3, and now I've got enough for a performance, I could do that. If I didn't have my illusionist used because she needs just specifically a 4, then I could flip this to a 4 and go like that. Or if I just don't like my rolls at all, and I think, well, you know, I just want to just try over again, I'm going to keep one of my 1-2s, and maybe I'll just roll everything and just try to roll everything again. You can do that as well when you tune. Now, tuning like that by discarding a card or a tune token, those are free actions, so it doesn't actually take up one of your 2 actions. You can just do them anytime during your turn. And the last action that you can take is passing. So passing just means that you're not going to do anything this round. Very commonly, you have done everything that you can do, and then now, as the turn progresses, you will be skipped in the rest of this round. Once everyone has passed, then you move into the last part of the last phase of each round, called very simply the end of turn phase. Now, in the end of turn phase, all players are simultaneously going to do these actions. You're going to push your dice aside. You're going to discard all the cards that you have in play. And if you have any cards in your hand, you have to discard those as well. When you have cards in your hand at the end of a turn and you discard them, you can fire one of them out of your deck permanently by removing them as you do that. That's the only time that you can actually remove cards other than some bard actions as well let you do that. And then you're going to draw back up to a hand of 5 cards. and this will be the card you're going to use for the next round. You'll then keep all the dice that you have, and then on the next round, as you come back around, you're going to use these dice and you're going to add them to the new ones that will get added as the next bards take the stage. So you'll be rolling, obviously next round I'll be rolling 8 dice. You can kind of see that. And then the first player token will move to the next player, and that will be the end of that one round. Now, when you go on to the game end, basically the game will end once someone collects 4 audience cards, and I was explaining that before. Once someone captures their 4th audience card, then at the end of that round, after everybody's completely passed, that will be the end of the game, and you go into an encore round. Now, the encore round plays off of the encore cards that I was showing you at the beginning during game setup. You're going to be gaining one of these cards at the beginning, and this will indicate to you which veteran bards you want to try to shoot for. Now, you can see this one actually shows 2 red and 2 blue. So I'm trying to grab veteran bards that match up to this. So if I had my best situation would be to have at least 2 red and 2 blue veteran bards in my deck at the end of the game. At the end of the game, you're going to take your deck apart. You're going to pull all your veteran bards out. So let's say I had these 4 characters. Actually, let me take these 5. Okay, and so then you're going to put them all out. And the reason why you're doing this is because also all veteran bards are worth 1 additional point. Okay, so then you're going to also look at your encore card, and for every veteran bard that matches up to one of your encore cards, you're going to gain a dice. Doesn't matter the color, but you can kind of see I've got 1 red here and 1 red there, but I don't have any blues. And in fact, if I had, let me throw a little extra here. If I had another red here, then you can only maximum get 2 from each, or 1 from each. So there's 2 showing, right? So I'm going to get 2 dice. And then during the encore step, everybody's going to roll dice, and they are going to compare scores. And whoever has the highest score here is going to win the encore round and get an additional 4 points. And then once you do the encore round, you will then go right straight into the end game where you basically total up points. I will say there are a bunch of abilities in the game that let you influence the encore round, and if you have any toon tokens left over as the game has progressed, you can use the toon tokens during the encore round to modify your dice. So I could think that a 5 is a bad roll, and I could just re-roll again into a 10 and say, hey, that's awesome. All right, so then we move on to, once you're done with the encore round, you're basically just going to total up points. You're going to get points for every audience card that you have. Sorry, here they are. Every audience card is going to show their points in the top right corner. You're going to gain those points, and then you also get 1 point for every veteran bard that is in your deck that you've bought through the game goes. You can see the 1 point showing across the top. If you won the encore round, you're going to get 4 points. And any additional performance tokens that you have at the end of the game that you haven't used are going to give you 1 point additionally as well. And whoever has the most points will win a game. And that's it. That's how you play Battle of the Bards. Thank you.